Welcome, Rob. It's a pleasure to have you with us on our podcast, Master AI Disruption. So you're calling us from Colorado, and just a short introduction, you're the co-founder of the Brokerage Insurance Group out of Colorado. Rob, please let us know your story of origin.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me, Francis. So yeah, my name's Rob Whittet. I'm one of the principal partners of the Brokerage Insurance Group. We're located in a suburb of Denver called Centennial, Colorado. We are a independent insurance brokerage, primarily focusing on I call it general property and casualty risks. So we do everything from your auto, home, toys, and we also like to mix in a lot of commercial business, such as your general liabilities, work comp, professional liability, cyber, just to name a few. So my background and my business partner's background, we were both farmers agents for about 10 years each. And coming in 2019, we just kind of were banging our head against the ceiling that was kind of glass. And we just thought, hey, there's got to be more out there than just kind of selling one or two couple options to people. And we just felt like the market was kind of changing more towards that. And the idea of the big or the brokerage insurance group was created.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you so much. Do you want to tell us a little bit of how many people you work with, how many agents you have, or clients, or for our
Yeah.
audience to situate you a little bit?
For sure. Yeah. So we've been going since 2019. We have a staff currently, including myself and my partner, of 10 of us. And we try to offer ourselves as a full service insurance brokerage. So we like to offer in house service, sales, claim support, you name it. We try to let it start here so we can kind of help quarterback the position, help people with through situations. We have our agency is about 13 million in total premium. So we've kind of, like I said before, a lot of that's all just kind of property and casualty risks that we work on. We do sprinkle in some life insurance, and that's something we're trying to focus on more going forward as well. But definitely our book of business has really been helping people on their assets and their needs that they need from either from vehicle insurance, home insurance, or if they're starting a business or running a business, just to kind of help better align them with what they need going forward.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. So you've been in the business between farmers and the brokerage insurance group, your own company, more than 15 years. You've seen quite a lot. So what would you say about the trends today on the market, top line from your perspective?
Yeah, so I got into this in 2009, and home insurance premiums, I think when I got into the business were probably like I thought a high home insurance premium was $1,000, $1,500 a year to now speed forward in 2026. And man, we see
Mhm.
premiums sometimes of, $15,000, $20,000 depending on the house. So, our average premium is a lot lower than that, but just the business and the markets really change where Colorado specifically, we have a thing called hail. And over the years, I think we've seen these storms just kind of get more and more severe, more and more catastrophic. And so insurance carriers have just kind of over time, as costs have raised, we've just seen insurance costs rise with it. Because I think insurance flows with kind of like the market, it flows with inflation as construction costs increase. And we saw a bit in COVID that we just saw everything kind of blow up across the board of just costs in general. Well, inflation tries to keep up, insurance tries to keep up with that inflation piece. I think a lot of times we're kind of like behind the curve a little bit. So when it comes, it comes. And with that, a lot of people have seen, big rate increases over the last few years. So back to where I was saying, where I started, home insurance premiums were $1,000 a year. Now our average client's probably paying $5,000, $6,000 a year. And it's just where the market's at these days. It's kind of just reset to a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
Continues to go that way.
Mm-hmm. And so how does this phenomenon impact your strategy and your next level of business? I know you have very ambitious goals. So, how do you navigate this kind of, drastic, change?
Yeah, it's challenging, and I think especially the last few years, people have seen a lot of rate increase on their premiums,
Yeah.
and so I think almost to the point there's like a market fatigue right now in the insurance world, specifically on personal lines. And what I mean by that is, so rates have gone up, and at first people just kind of took it and said, "Okay, I'm going with that." But now they're at the point where last year, specifically in Colorado, we had a quieter year for claims. Like we didn't have a lot of hailstorms, and so insurance carriers are recording some major profits. Okay, and I think what happened there, though, rates were still continuing going up. People are now seeing it and saying, "Hey, my rates keep going up," but now these other carriers are coming back into the market saying, "Hey, I want to look at your business. Let me get you a quote." And people are just kind of frustrated with paying too much. And so there's
Mhm.
created a lot more, I think, market disruption that way, where people are like, hey, I hear these commercials all the time on the radio, I can save money. So I think really just kind of what we're seeing is like, hey, how do we keep providing a full service approach to our clients, help with retention, and talk to these people and try to get ahead of them before, they want to shop, or if we can provide them solutions in our office to help kind of mitigate, their costs that have gone up over the years.
Mm-hmm. So tell us your growth objectives, for your agency and what are the levers that you plan to activate to get there?
Yeah, so my business partner and I kind of set a goal a while back of 40 million premium in 20 years.
Mhm,
We're almost 7 years into it, basically. And it's really just trying to find, and I mentioned this before to you, of there's still a lot of people out there that I think that trust an advisor and need help with insurance. That's the kind of client we want to work with. We want to work with people that value what we do. We don't get paid we get paid by the carriers, but we represent our clients. And that's
mhm,
the beauty, I think, of being an independent broker is you get to go to market. And I tell the clients all the time, we represent you. We go to our various different carriers and try to find you multiple options and then come back to you what's the best for you
mhm,
versus just, hey, this is what I have. This is what you get, Francis. This is what it is. So our goal is just to continue finding those type of people, trying to write good quality business and just trying to help them in all arenas that they need for their insurance needs.
mhm. Staying in the same line of business or expanding to other type of premiums and
Yeah,
policies?
I think majority would still stay in this property casualty sector. I also mentioned too, like I think we'd like to create some other buckets such as like life insurance. Like we have a focus in that. We work with some different carriers on that. And I feel like a big need for that. I
Mhm,
feel like a very important need for people to carry that as well.
mhm,
So I would say our bread and butter is always going to be property and casualty, probably more of a heavier focus on commercial business as we keep going forward
mhm,
because we find that it's good to kind of have a good balance in our book. Where
mhm.
it's good to work with both people that own personal things themselves and need their toys and their homes insured, but also, hey, I'm a business and I have a lot of growth and I need a really advisor to kind of lean on to help me keep my business going forward.
And in this very competitive marketplace, how do you differentiate yourself? What do you think makes you win, business over competitors?
I think a lot of it is like, we offer a full service in-house brokerage. I think there's a lot of agencies that sometimes ship things back to the carriers for help. They might have a separate team that you don't, you write the business with one team and then you never hear from them again. And you write with
Mm,
your service, you have to call a separate number. So I think we really try to focus on providing good training and education to our team and getting them up to speed and really trying to have that approach of like, hey, when you have questions, you come back to us. Let's start the conversation here. Let's try to figure out the strategy of what to do if you need to file a claim or need help on what to do, with insurance, because insurance can be complicated at times and not everyone knows what to do. And we'd really like to try to help assist with that and make sure people make good informed decisions.
mhm. What are the most difficult things that you encounter in your journey to that $40 million so far and moving forward in your anticipation?
Yeah, I mean, the market's what the market, and we can only control as a business what we can control. And that's really our internal factors. I think probably one of the biggest challenges has always been is staffing. We're always looking for good qualified help. And in this business, especially independent agencies with what we kind of want and try to achieve for of just being a full service, sometimes have to wear a lot of hats. You have to do a lot of different kind of problem solving. And I think that's tough. And I think when people hear and they're like, oh, you're in insurance, that sounds boring. It's like, not at all. Every day is different. You have different conversations with people. You meet a whole bunch of different people, different types of industries, people from all over. And I think the continued challenge will always be is keep finding good help and then finding good help that can be in the right seat to help your business grow too.
And those brokers are 1099 or they're employees
Employees.
on the payroll?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's heavy.
Yeah, we're building a team and we want everyone to succeed with us. So we
Mhm,
feel like, we have producers that are on the team that are, part of the brokerage. They're on payroll. They get paid, salary plus commission. We want
mhm.
them to feel like they do, for their efforts, they get rewarded for it. And as we grow, they grow with us.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a congruence between them and how do you recruit them?
We try a lot of different channels. Some of our best ones, I would say, have usually been from referrals. Other people that are just kind of in the know, or, hey, I have a friend that's looking for a career change. And surprisingly enough, we've had really good success with people sometimes that come in with no experience in
Mhm.
insurance.
Wow.
but they come in with drive, work ethic, great personality, demeanor, and just are ready to kind of just get in and grind it with us.
Mhm.
This business to me is such a good, very good, like rewarding business. And it rewards people that work, that are smart, that can figure things out, that can problem solve and put in the time and effort, but it doesn't happen overnight.
Mhm.
It's not like an oil boom. It's not like, hey, oil's $300 a barrel. We've hit it rich. Insurance is a slow play, right? Like it builds over time. And I think, that's always what we're trying to like, hey, come in here, do the work, be consistent, and you'll see the results. Plant your seeds, they'll grow.
Do you have any churn rate for your workforce or?
That's a good question. I'd like to say we have, our original guy that we brought on when we first started.
Mhm.
So that's a positive, but
Yep.
I don't have an exact percentage. We have a team of 10. We've just added a couple of new people and lost a couple people in the last couple months. So I'd like to say it's something we need to improve upon
Mhm.
and always trying to.
Okay. So no, you're on the podcast called Master AI Disruption. So of course AI is coming up now.
Yeah.
So how does it intersect with your next level of growth and deployment to that $40 million?
Yeah, great question. And obviously, yeah, being on this podcast of AI disruption is we see AI as a tool that's a very powerful tool that's important for us to use in our agency to make our team better and more fit and equipped to do a better job for people. So I think like the AI, there's so many different examples that you can give of it just making us more prepared, maybe a little bit more educated at a
Mhm.
faster pace with it.
Mhm.
And that's kinda like where I see it on, like, an employee standpoint. Hey, an email comes in from a frustrated client, and you're like, "Man, that client really is upsetting me. I don't know how to handle this." You might be able to get help quickly with AI to how to respond back to an email, and kinda give you some ideas that you can then formulate back to the client. On a more like a role that I'm trying to take on more is, like, overseeing my business and, like, what's going on in the day-to-day business. How can we improve what our employees do? So we use it a lot for kinda analyzing the day-to-day kind of things that go on in the agency,
Mhm.
kinda trying to minimize any major issues or fires, I call them, before
Mhm.
they get too big. And I think
Mhm.
that's one thing I've been able to kind of figure out with AI now is, hey, can AI come in, maybe help me kinda analyze my business faster for us to see so and so took this call, that didn't really go as well as we wanted, like, and it came back and gave me like a instant, like score on the call saying, "Hey, that didn't rank well. We need to dive into this. There were some concerns there. Let's figure this out. Let's nip this before it gets become too much of an issue." But really, I feel like AI is just it's endless. There's so many different things out there. We get emails all the time, every day of different companies offering different products. Trying to do this. It's something you have to keep taking on and embracing and how to like keep using it within your business.
So I have two questions in this respect. You were saying from 0 to 1%, 0 to this, obviously 100% max, in terms of transforming your organization and bring it to the level you want it to be as of now, because as we know, in 2 months there will be more or 6 months will be different. But as of now, in the state of, evolution of AI up to today, where are you on terms of the completion of that AI transformation process?
I mean, I think we're just kinda getting started. I mean, we've kinda looked at a lot of different things. We've tried a lot of different things from AI calling agents to help answer phones and fill out applications with clients to different automation and systems. So I would say we're not 50% even of the way yet. I think, like, this is like an AI boom where there's just a lot of technology coming about.
Yeah.
Just now it's can we get it honed in a little bit better? So more because right now it's each company offers one thing.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to where companies or myself, my team, we build where it is like one unit or not as many different units. Because it's almost like you have different silos. And I
Mhm.
gave this example, I think, to you before our call of like the duct tape effect. So
Yeah.
you have all these different AI systems that they kind of talk to each other, but they really don't. But they're just kind of all held together by duct tape, to make it work.
Yeah.
And I really look forward to seeing the AI kind of get more consolidated. I don't know if that's the good word, but just kind of more one piece where, hey, this can do it all versus I have to use this one, Canopy Connect for all my billing notices, and I need to use Gaia for my copy and paste to help me get through my applications faster, and I need to use Claude to do my day-to-day activities. Like It's coming, it's just not here yet. There's just everyone's just kinda trying to offer and get their foot in the door.
Hmm. I get it. I get it. How is the 10 people that you have on the team? Do you have diverse response to AI or it's homogeneous or what do you see? What kind of behavioral pattern do you see in respect to adopting AI?
I think they're open to it. I think some don't know what you don't know. So I think, a lot of times people's initial thoughts like, "Oh, I don't wanna do that." So myself as a leader on my team, I wanna, like, try to vet it a little bit. Let me mess around with it. Let me try to figure things out. And then all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, you did that." Like, for example, I do a lot of work with Claude, and one of the things that has been important for me with Claude that's helped me create is, like, a daily activity report. So at the end of every day, Claude can come in and look at our phone calls, our agency Zoom, and kind of see what all happened in the agency. And then it sends a recap to the leaders in our office. And there's four of us. And it's like, hey, here's what happened. And I think that just kind of like when that kind of went out, then the staff's like, whoa, that's really good. Like, so I think sometimes they just a little bit to warm up to it, but they've been responsive to it because they see like, oh, it does that and it was that quick. It was that easy. Yeah. But sometimes you have to give it a try. You gotta play around with it. It might not be perfect right away, and it's not perfect. So still look at it. It's just a tool,
Hmm. Hmm.
but try it out.
So things have seem to be going very well for you. So is there anything that you like to improve or that you see is still like a recurring pain point in the growth journey that you're on?
I mean, we can always get better. I tell my team, I don't expect you to be perfect, but we can strive to be perfect. And I think that's where we can kind of say, like with AI and this movement, and just also our team is like, we have to continue to try to do the best that we can for our clients. How can we keep trying to improve our processes, speed up our efficiencies, and just provide that level of service that we expect? Because we want to provide 5-star service to our clients. We feel like they expect that and they deserve that.
Hmm.
And it's not that easy. And so I think the challenge that we keep continuing to find is how do we get people up to speed, good staff to help us with that, and just keep trying to find ways to, provide that great experience for our clients.
Mhm. All right. So if you had now a magic wand, just to recap, and you were able to wave it within your circle of influence, so not the interest rate by the Fed or climate change, none of that, what you can really impact directly in your business, let's say from an operational standpoint or from a growth engine standpoint, what is that you would change, if anything?
Well, I think one is with this AI movement, there's stuff out there right now and it's not fully there, but I see of how can you use AI more for lead generation. And also with like existing relationships too. So there's companies out there that are offering, hey, I have an AI agent that can make calls or can take calls. There's AI agents that can do quoting for you. I feel like it's still a work in progress. And so my magic wand would be like, hey, how do we get that to help make us more true professionals so we can have more better conversations with our clients? So I really feel like it's kind of like our business where we can see growth is being on the phone more, being more in person with people, and being intentional about what we're doing and using AI to help us do kind of like some of that stuff behind the scenes, like maybe quoting things and getting it kind of prepared a little bit. So then I don't have to spend, 4 hours shopping different markets. Maybe I only need to spend 30 minutes on it because I have AI to help me assist with it. And then I go dial it in so I feel good and I go prepare to have those good conversations with people. And I really feel like that's the name of the game. Can we have more good conversations with people that need our assistance?
Got it. Got it. Wonderful. So, on this note, anything that you'd like to leave our audience with, in terms of what you wish them to know and think about when they think about insurance?
Yeah, well, thank you again, Francis, for having me on this. This is a great opportunity. I always appreciate an opportunity to speak about our agency and kind of what we are. We're a full service insurance agency on the property and casualty side. And the thing I would think tell people is like not all insurance is the same. Always keep an open mind. I think there's a value to having a trusted advisor in this business, whether you're buying just a car, insuring a home, or insuring your business for the first time. Like there's a need to have a trusted advisor. And the great thing is we don't get paid unless you go forward with a policy. There's no cost for you to take us on and have us work with you. So why not? Like don't try to make these tough decisions on your own. Why not work with a trusted team that's licensed, experienced, knows the area, knows what's going on, and we can help assist you and figure out things for you.
And which states can they find you? Which states can you operate for them?
Yeah, so we're located in Colorado. That's where we do most of our business, but we're nationally. So I think we work in about 45 out of the 50 states. We have a
Mhm.
lot of different carriers. So really depending on what you need help with, we usually have markets for it for a lot of people.
Wonderful. So they will find you, Rob Whittet, on LinkedIn, I'm sure. And the name of the company again is the Brokerage Insurance Group, and the website is brokerageig.com.
Yes, sir. 720-443-2886 is our office number. And yeah, we'd love to help people if they need it.
And we'll add, of course, to the podcast your URL and your name, so they'll know where to find you. So
Awesome.
thank you so much, Rob. You know, you have already a great track record of success. So I can only wish you the best. And maybe in 1 year we'll reconvene and take stock of where you are.
That'd be great. Thank you, Francis. Appreciate you having me.
Of course, my pleasure all along. Thank you.